What's up, Brad?
Hey
How
guys,
are you, man?
good guys. How you doing?
Oh, good, good. Happy to have you on the show.
Appreciate it, man.
So
Happy to
what's
be here.
so what's going on, man? What's cooking?
Nothing, man. I heard you guys early in the morning
Oh,
about
oh
our.
no, I know exactly where I want to go with this. What?
Sandor.
Okay.
Yes. What made you guys sign Sandor Martin?
I just read it, but it's probably because he's the number one guy, for Devin. If Devin stays at 140, um, that's probably the reason. I don't really know. I haven't spoke to the guys or anything.
I mean, but you're the matchmaker. Do you give what sort of shot do you give Sandor?
With who, Devin?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's a very difficult fight. Devin's a hell of a fighter. I mean, he's going to beat most guys out there, but it's just basically protecting us in case he did win the fight.
Hmm. Man, I am shocked that Eddie dropped that ball, huh? Everybody
Yeah,
just assumed Sandor was going to end up with Matchroom again.
yeah. Well, we have a good relationship, with the Italians, and we've put Xander on those a couple of those international ESPN shows. So, um, I mean, that's probably the reason. I mean, we have a good relationship with those guys, Kirky and them guys.
Um, you've been in this business so long. Have you ever seen something like Turkey Al Sheikh?
He's doing an amazing job. You know, hopefully it keeps going. It's great for boxing.
I know, I know.
Yeah,
It's
I
crazy,
haven't.
man.
Oh, and the money that they're getting. I mean, it's great. It's great for the fighters.
Yeah, man. He's certainly putting on some good fights too. Does he have his own matchmaker? Do you know? Because obviously some of your fighters are fighting over there.
Yeah, that I don't know, but I'm assuming what they work with Eddie and Frank. Maybe they're matchmakers and stuff. Um, but I'm not really sure about that.
I mean that's a decent fight. Ray Vargas versus Nick Ball.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, damn, who thought that Wilder would lose? Did you think that?
Well, you remember when I said both guys were live dogs, with Otto Wallin and Parker. I I thought Wilder would win that fight, whereas I thought Wallin was more of a live dog with Joshua. But it shows you what the hell I know. you know,
Yeah, Joshua turned it around, man. He's looking really
he looked
mean
great.
again. He's looking
Yep,
mean again.
the best. It's the best I've ever seen him. I mean, he was really pinpoint on everything. And he's gonna be hard to beat if he fights that way again.
Yeah, were you
You
surprised to
think
see?
it was a switch of trainer
Could be.
now
Ben's
working
a
with
very
Ben
very good.
Davison?
Yeah, Ben Davidson's a very good trainer. He gets the best out of the guys. Not saying that Derek James wasn't or Robert Garcia. Those guys are great trainers also, but I think it's a better fit with him and Ben Davidson.
No, definitely. I agree. I loved what I saw out of AJ. What do you
Yeah.
make of them actually making the Ngannou fight? Obviously, AJ two, he became heavyweight champion of the world twice, won multiple belts, and to fight a guy coming off the loss. Do you like the fight, or what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I like the fight for AJ. No problem at all. Um, Listen, the other guy, he put up a great fight with Fury. I don't know for a fact, but I assume that Fury was maybe in half-ass shape and didn't really take it that serious. He thought it would be an easy fight, which it turned out it wasn't. Um,
Mm, phone call. We're live with with top rank matchmaker.
Matchmaker.
Okay, he's back. Are you?
yeah,
Okay.
I put it on Do Not Disturb, man, but people keep calling, man. I don't know what's up.
So you were saying?
Yeah, I think he earned it. I think people, believe, that he may have a shot with AJ. Um, so it's an interesting fight. I mean, he definitely deserved it after that performance with Fury.
Were you surprised? Because I was certainly disappointed and surprised that Wilder did not take the Zhang fight.
I didn't know he didn't. I mean, it's a fight he should have taken.
Yeah, no, Parker took it. He didn't take it, so Parker
Yeah,
and Zhang are fighting on the undercard of Ngannou and AJ.
yeah. I don't get that. I don't know why. I don't know what the reasoning is. But he has good people behind him. Shelley, Finkel, and all of them. They're good guys. Um, there must have been a reason. That I don't know what the reason is though.
Now you've
Um,
been watching Parker for a while because you guys had Andy on Top Rank, and obviously that was his first title shot. Do you give Parker a shot
yep.
versus Zhang?
Not really.
Mm, me
I I,
neither.
I don't.
Me neither. But I didn't
You
give him
know.
a shot versus Wilder. I feel like I'm an idiot. I didn't see that one coming.
Listen, there was I can't figure out what happened with Wilder. He was very laid back. He was too relaxed. I think a lot of it maybe had to do with the inactivity. Not fighting for a while. I don't consider that the Helena's fight, that 1 round fight, that wasn't a fight, but he needed to be active. And I think that if he was active, it could have been a different result.
Have I ever
Not taking
asked?
any, not taking anything away from Parker, because Parker's a very competent guy. He knows what he's doing.
Have I ever asked your thoughts on potential matchup with Fabio Wardley and Jared Anderson?
No, but Jared will fight anybody. You
But
know,
what? But I mean, again, you're the matchmaker. What do you think of that? Because I feel like those are the two most athletic heavyweights we have today.
yeah. I mean, I like the fight, but there's always two sides. The other guy has to agree also. I know Jared will fight anybody. He doesn't care.
Wow. So nothing about Wardley, uh, I guess, concerns you.
Not that he doesn't concern me. I mean, these guys, they got to fight. You know, only the best rise to the top, man. And if Jared wants to be the best, he's willing to fight the best.
Are we? Do we have a return time frame for Jared yet?
Not, they're still working on it. Not sure yet.
So no chance of him landing on either of these cards in Saudi.
Well, not February, no, but it still remains to be seen. He could stay here in the States. He could be out there. We're working on it.
Is Bacoli an option?
For Jared,
Yes.
that's a fight I would stay away from.
Because of the weight? Is it because of the weight?
Just him being so big, being a puncher. To me, it's a lot of risk with no reward. Not saying that Bacoli is not capable, because he is, but I think more people know like a Fabio Wardley, and other guys like that. Bacoli's one of those dangerous guys that nobody really knows, and he can punch and stay away from punchers.
Obviously, well, first your thoughts on Dubois and Gerald Miller's fight, and did it play out how you expected? I guess.
No, man, I was bad that night. I didn't give Dubois any shot. I thought
Really?
Miller was. Yeah, I thought he was going to destroy him. I'm doing bad, bro. I'm doing real
Wow.
bad. I told you. I
Yeah, no,
told you that.
I pick Miller too, but Jesus, he just he couldn't get it done. I mean, I thought he would eventually wear him out, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
That's what I figured. The second half of the fight, he'd wear him out with his weight, but nothing. He couldn't do anything. I was shocked.
He really didn't use that weight like the way Fury did on Wilder. He should have leaned
Yeah,
on him to slow him down. That never really happened. But he did have another issue outside the ring. Does that keep you guys away from that real big baby please stand up fight?
I love that fight, but like I said, the last time I was on, he just can't be trusted after
Yeah.
failing 2 or 3 tests. That's what people want to see. Who's the real big baby, and And if he doesn't show up and you got to change the opponent and all that, it takes all the spice away, you know?
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that right after the fight, he had another incident and he ended up in jail.
I saw something about that, but I didn't really read up on it or anything.
Yeah,
Is he?
unfortunate.
Yo,
Hey,
so Brad, let me tell you, right? So he comes back.
Come
He
on,
gets
man.
his
Don't
he gets
publicize
he
it, man. It's just it's an
no no no
unfortunate
no
situation.
he just he don't know. I'm filling him in. So look, he gets his truck repoed, right? So he
Yeah.
takes himself and a young lady to the dealership, uses the
Allegedly,
lady allegedly uses the lady as a pawn. I'm pretty sure there's footage on it. Uses the lady as a pawn to distract the guy, gets back in the truck,
well,
and
you
like,
forgot the part where he put him in a chokehold.
yeah, he puts the guy in the chokehold and
You're terrible, Danny.
That's
Yeah.
crazy,
fill him
man.
right in.
Fuck, man.
That's crazy. But
What's up
anyway,
with what's up with
I was
No,
Arslan Beck?
so Brad, I gotta ask though. I gotta ask because like from the outside looking in, people like, oh, the Saudi money must have not cleared for him to
yeah.
be doing these things. Like some people felt this way. Some people
Man,
were suggesting this. Obviously, you guys have done business. I know the boss has gone out there. Bob Arum's
bro,
been out there.
tell him, Brad, that money's real.
I haven't heard anybody really complain yet on our side. I
All
mean,
right,
everybody
just
as
making
far
sure.
as, huh?
No. Again, I just making sure because a lot of people were suggesting that because you just fought on a huge card, you should have made a nice penny,
Uh,
and
I mean, it takes longer sometimes for these international checks to clear.
oh,
We
absolutely. Come in right away, man. It could take a month or so, you know?
Wow, really that long? Oh my God, that's terrible.
A lot of times, yeah. They want to see how the pay-per-view came along and stuff like that. That's where they're generating some money also.
Mm, damn, that's crazy. I can't imagine waiting for a check to clear 30 days. You better have some money in the bank. Not need,
Yeah.
not waiting on that check. That's not a good one.
right.
So, what's your thoughts with Arslan Beck? Is he coming back, or that was a? I mean, were
That,
you expecting that performance?
yeah, I was so like I said, I was bad, man. I was bad. And I was even bad the other night, man. You remember when I said I'd give Callum Smith a hell of a shot?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about anymore. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and not make predictions.
I gave Callum a better shot than he actually fought
Yeah.
very good though. Come on, he was again. I want to see Callum Anthony Yard now.
Yeah, yeah, that's a hell of a fight. But Beterbiev took it right to him right from the get go, which he's not known to do. He's known as a slow starter, and the minute he jumped on Smith, he basically just took the fight out of him. You know,
Yeah.
I
I
was very
felt like he was game
Brad,
though, man. He gave us he definitely answered or presented some questions that we needed answers to from Beterbiev. He hit him with the double left hook. He
yep,
hit him to the body. He hurt him to the body with that 6-7. He
yeah.
countered Beterbiev with a 6-7 to the gut, and I really want the Benavidez fight now. What do you think? I think Benavidez can move right up and beat him.
Benavidez he's going to be very successful at light heavyweight. He's not going to struggle with the weight. He's going to be a tough guy to beat. Now I don't know if he's going to beat Beterbiev. Let's see what happens with Beterbiev and Bivol first. That's
Yeah,
like
I mean, I
what he
think I
wants.
think uh I think Better Beef should get that fight. I've been watching Bivol's tapes again. I don't really see him pivot. He has
Yeah,
great footwork, but he doesn't pivot. So anybody that's
yeah,
going straight back, eventually Better Beef is gonna, cut that distance. He's gonna hit you. His jab is like a right hand. So you
yeah,
gotta pivot away from him. You can't be on a straight line with this guy. And that was Callum's fault. He kept
yeah,
straight line, going back, and now you're in the corner or now you're on the ropes. If you gotta fight like the way Tank fought Isak Cruz. You just constantly turning, constantly turn. Kind of like Devin and Regis too. Just keep turning them. But
yeah.
it's easier said than done, of course.
You can't change.
Say again, you broke up.
That the minute you get hit, the game plan goes right out the window.
For sure, man. For sure. So
Brad,
Keyshawn is
I know you
back.
said that.
Go ahead, Danny. I'm sorry.
No, I know you said you didn't want to do any more predictions because you've been on the bad streak lately. But I'm genuinely curious your thoughts on your fighter this weekend, Michaela Mayer, moving up once again to
Danny,
welterweight this
check the
time.
battery on your headset. It sounds like you breaking up a bit, but he wants your thoughts on Michaela Mayer this weekend.
I've only seen the other girl fight, so
Hello?
it's hard to make that prediction. When I'm really not familiar with the person, but just watching her that one time, and I think it was her last fight that I saw Natasha fight. I would say Michaela, is just better overall, better athleticism, a little bit younger. The Natasha's up there in age, isn't she?
Yeah, she's 39 years old.
Michaela being younger, a little bit fresher. I like Michaela, by decision.
Do you know the thought process? I mean, besides being comfortable, but like why the rapid jump in weight? She hasn't since her loss. She hasn't fought more than one fight in a weight class. She went to 35, then
Yep.
40, now 47. I'm just curious.
Well, she was Denny. She was struggling real bad at 130. And even at 35, it was hard for her. So her plan all along was to fight really at 40, grab a title, and then go up to 47. She just wants to fight big fights. Um, there was just nobody at the moment at 140. It doesn't mean after this fight she won't go back to 40 and see if there's a big opportunity there. Because I think that's where she fits at 140.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Cameron or Katie Taylor fight at 40 would be huge.
Exactly. They like her out there in England, Michaela. She's big out there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like she's been doing her thing, several fights out there now. So, uh, I'm looking forward to the fight this weekend, probably the biggest fight of the weekend. So,
Who do you guys like?
I like Michaela in that one, but again, I thought, like, I heard the weight issue, so I honestly thought she'd be stronger in the ring at 40. And when I saw her last fight, to me she seemed a bit sluggish, to be honest. But
Yeah,
I think that certain fighters, fight down to the level of her competition. So I'm expecting to see, the best Michaela this weekend. I think that uh she's a hell of a talent. So I
yeah,
think she pulls it off. Just wanted your thoughts on that one.
yeah, yeah. I like her in the fight decision.
Yeah, I expect her to get the win as well. I think that there is bigger things on the horizon for her. But I do want to talk about a potential matchup that's been brewing and picking up a lot of steam. Obviously, um, it's gotten as far as to Shaquille O'Neal talking about it. That's the Clarissa Shields, Alicia Bumgarner. Can you see that fight happening at 47? And who do you got winning?
I mean, what's the lowest Clarissa's ever even weighed? It was like
54. I want to say 54.
I don't see her getting 147. You
Mm.
know, I don't see that.
Even if she says she can make the weight?
But I mean, yeah, if she can make it, and it doesn't hinder her performance or anything like that, and it doesn't make her weak, I think Clarissa is the best out there, hands down, and I would think she would beat Alicia.
Mm. Oh, I thought Danny was going to have a rebuttal with that one. He just took it on the chin.
I know.
Okay.
Wow, he's giving his thoughts. He's giving his thoughts.
No, I mean, I don't know. I thought you was going to maybe come with a comeback because Alicia seems to believe that her left hook would do damage. Um, to Clarissa?
Clarissa to me is too big, man. Too big. She's just used to that weight. I mean, Baumgartner would be what? She'd be going up like
Yes.
17. It's Clarissa wins that fight,
Mm.
in my opinion.
What about Serrano Bumgardner?
Amanda's a hell of a talent also, but she's getting up there in age and maybe slowing down a little bit. That's a fight I would like to see. That's a fight I'd love to see. That fight.
Oh, so
think it, I think it's more even up. Um, Very very tough fight. I mean, I can see Baumgartner winning that fight.
mm, yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, but that
S-
kind of yeah, I like that fight, man.
Um, we had Brian Norman on the show. He's obviously not satisfied with his performance in his last fight versus Quentin Randall, even though it was an undefeated fighter. Um, he made it clear on today's interview that he wasn't happy with the way that he looked. What
Mm.
was your thoughts on the performance? And yeah, I asked him about the father receiving a lot of criticism and people wanting maybe a different set of eyes to come in, not necessarily the father leave. What's your thoughts on that as well? I mean,
I was pleased overall.
really.
Yeah, I listen. The other guy, in Quinton, he wasn't really trying to win the fight. He was more in survival mode. And when you have a guy that's in survival mode, it's really hard to look good against because the other guy's really not trying to win. You know, and he didn't open up. Quinton. Where he can maybe get hit with a counter shot. And to Brian's credit, he's been fighting solid opposition. When we first used him the first time, against the Argentine guy, he almost had him out in the first round. He blew his load in the first round, and got a little tired, then got his second win. But that was the very first fight. Second fight, we used him. It was a good, solid 8-round fight. But he also had a bum hand. His hand was bad. So he was fighting, handicapped a lot of those fights. Um, I think he's going to be better for it now. And his next fight, he's fighting Boca Chica, a guy that's right there in front of him. He's willing to engage.
Oh, you announced it. He wasn't announcing it, so we didn't say the name.
Oh yeah, I think they put it up already. I
I,
think they put
I
it.
I didn't I don't know, but hey, cool. I think it's a tough fight, and I was telling him that. What is the thought process? Like, why Boca Chica right after Quentin Randall? Because some of our listeners, the live ones, they started asking questions to Brian live, and they said, "Do you feel Top Rank is trying to cut you? Putting you in tough back to back."
Mhm. Well, I talked to the management. Jolene. I gave him a couple options, and the fight that they liked was Boca Chica.
Hmm.
I also offered up Eric Bonet, the kid that just put up a real good fight with Santione.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually a great name. He was in the ring with Porter.
Exactly. But they chose Boca Chica. Uh,
90 seconds.
I think they definitely know what they're talking about, and that's what they felt most comfortable with, and that's what we got them. And I think Boca Chica to me is you know tons of balls, solid, good chin. He's going to come to fight, and he's going to be right there for Brian. You
Hmm.
know, Brian has the overall skills, and if he can stop the kid, more credit to him.
We talked about a potential fight with the possibility of a Blair Cobb since he's a free agent, and
Mhm.
only mentioned him because we had spoke with Brian and asked him previously about going from prospect to contender and how does one do that. So you can answer this question first, right? Can a prospect become a contender by beating another undefeated, or does he need a former world champion? Or, like Brian said, it must be name value to become contender.
I think it's a combination. You know, name value is very very important. You know, and after this fight, you know, on March 2nd, you know, maybe we get him, you know, a former world champion, you know, or you know, some guy like in the top 10, top 12.
Uh,
Fighting another prospect, yeah, that's good, you know, and it helps a little bit. But you know, Blair Cobbs, he hasn't fought in how long? Like 2 years?
yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a
Yeah,
minute.
you know, if he was more active and stuff, maybe it would be a little bit more spicier or something. But you know, he's unfortunately a forgotten guy
Mm.
because he fought.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up here to just to be exact. Says the
Yeah,
last fight was August
even Norman,
2022.
even Norman's like, oh, I totally forgot about that guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't. And it's unfortunate, you know, you look up, you know, Danny Garcia may fight Lara, whatever. Yeah, it may be a good fight, but it's two guys that really haven't fought in like what 2 years each guy or something like that. They've been forgotten.
mm. So when you say top 10, if he can beat Boca Chica, are you saying in the WBO or you mean in general?
Just maybe in general, if there's something available. I mean, we're gonna give him a good push this year. You know, um, you know, like I said, you know, he definitely can go 10 rounds. There's no problem with that.
Yeah, no, he's got a tank.
Yeah, you know, and I think he's going to be better for it after that last fight. I think he's going to be much better. I really do. He fought a crafty guy, a guy that was in survival mode. Um, could he have looked better? Yeah, he could have looked better, but you have to take into consideration what was in front of him, a guy that was really in survival mode, not really trying to win the fight.
I know you're not
But
management. Hold on, Danny. I know you're not management, but since Stantillian just got the great win, he's in the number one position. Crawford just said the Earl Spence fight isn't happening. Are we gonna call Paco to push something here? Maybe get him to vacate? Like,
I don't know if Crawford would take it, you know, just because it doesn't really mean anything to
no,
him. I think
exactly. But then he would be forced to vacate.
yeah, he'd be forced to vacate, you know. Santion's in a situation after that last performance. He wants to move on to bigger and better things. Now, you know, fighting just goofball fights means nothing to him. You know, he deserves something now, you know. So let's see what happens. You know, it maybe if Terrence moves up and the title becomes vacant, then he fights for a vacant title.
With Boots being in limbo, there's no
Mhm.
network, but there's plenty of video of his father saying that they're working with Espinoza, whatever that means. Do you see a world where Top Rank would offer Boots a fight versus Stantillion on ESPN?
I mean, if that's what presented itself, yeah.
I
You know,
mean,
I don't.
only you guys could present it. I mean, he's the champion without a network, so it would have to be Top Rank sending the offer.
Yeah, you know, if that's what had to be, I guess that's what would have to be. I mean, Santion's in a situation where his age, you know, I mean, he just wants to fight, you know, for the big prize and for the best money, and that's where he would probably get it.
Do you like that fight?
I think Boots is a hell of a talent, man. You know,
Mm.
probably the best guy out there. You know, after Terrence, he's a hell of
So
a
you're
talent.
saying after Terrence. So if Terrence turned around and said, "Fuck it, I couldn't become three-time undisputed in three separate divisions, but I can beat Boots again and become two-time undisputed at welterweight."
Terrence isn't going to waste his time with that. You know.
Wow.
The Terrence one, you know, he wants, you know, well, Charlo lost or whatever. The Zoo fight makes a lot of sense. It's a big, big money fight, especially if it goes to Australia. Um, and Terrence doesn't turn down anything, man. I mean, he'll go to Australia. He has no problem with that.
I mean, but Zoo's been in the media so much wanting to come to Vegas, wanting to do a Vegas show.
He wants to do that, and he also wants to move up to 160. He wants to fight Janibek. But at the end of the day, Zoo and Crawford is a much bigger fight.
Damn, how soon does he want to fight Johnny back?
That's
Brad,
where he went.
and I
Right?
don't know that Bud would go to Australia, to be honest, because I've suggested that. I said I know that he has earned the right to fight wherever he wants, but it's clear that they have money over there that they're willing to invest.
Bigger over
Um,
there.
it was just announced that Loma and Cambosis is happening in Perth. So,
Yeah,
I think that they would pull out huge money for Terrence out there. But I
absolutely.
don't know that he'd go.
I you know, I think Terrence would do it. It's all about the money. And like I said, Terrence, he won his first title. In the other guy's hometown. He has no problem winning another title. You know, in the other place in Australia. I think that's where it makes the most money. The only place
I
where
agree.
the only place where it would do real well would probably be Omaha. But if you got a 40, 50,000 seat arena in Australia, it makes more sense, no?
Well, look, I was gonna say, do you think it's possible? We just saw the University of Nebraska's women's volleyball team do 90,000 at the football stadium. Do you think it's possible for Bud to do an early summer fight at the University of Nebraska's football stadium?
Yeah, but I don't think him and Zoo would be that big. It'd have to be a better name type guy. Crawford, is known worldwide now. He goes, oh, it's big. If Zoo comes here, to me, it's just a fight.
Brad, last time you were on the show, you gave us the date. You told us it would be another Thursday night card. We now have the opponents, Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz, Super Bowl weekend. How
Mhm.
excited are you? I know you said you were happy with the Thursday night show last time, so how excited are you to for it to be this one and to have it on Super Bowl weekend? Uh, what expectations do you have of that event?
I think it's going to be one of those things again where the town's jam packed, and if they're not occupied on a Thursday night with the Super Bowl stuff or whatever, I think people are going to come out and show up. But who knows yet? Nobody really knows. I heard tickets are doing pretty decent.
I know I've been keeping up with the activities, if you will, going on that week. I think that you guys have a lot of things going in your favor. Mandalay Bay. I don't. They're not like technically the host hotel of the Super Bowl, but they're the closest to the stadium. They have the walkway connected to the stadium, and they also are hosting the NFL Experience, which a lot of fans will be at the hotel for, and that's going on in their convention center. I'm expecting a great turnout. I'm excited for it. One question I do have though, why the wait to announce? It seemed like the fight was announced maybe 5 weeks out, if that.
What do you mean? What was announced 5 weeks out?
The Tio fight, they waited till, I mean, it was
It,
practically 5 weeks out for them to announce it.
yeah, because Teo didn't. We finally
The
finalized
opponent
it.
situation?
Say again?
It was the opponent situation. It was finding him an opponent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it's who
Okay.
he chose to fight. We gave him a couple options and stuff, and Jermaine was the guy that it turned out to be.
For sure. So moving forward, obviously we got to see how this turns out. But could moving forward, could we see more top ranked shows on big weekends here in Vegas? Because I personally like it. You guys aren't the only ones. The UFC's doing their thing, so I like that
Mm.
you guys are doing it. But is that something you guys can see yourselves doing moving forward?
I mean, I can see it. I don't know how valid it is or anything like that, but I definitely can see it happening. In the future.
Well,
for sure.
so you said Johnny Beck and Zoo. Has that already been explored?
Oh, no, 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 no. That's who we wanted, Nestor. Zoo.
Okay.
He was calling out Janabek. Janabek would be the last guy I would want to call out.
Oh, I know. I knew I wanted to ask you something. So, why is Abdullah Mason in the 8 rounder?
They want to start fighting eights.
So when did that happen though? What they just called you out of nowhere and said, "Nah, we want an
Yeah,
8 rounder."
yeah, but
Brad,
a
you
lot.
know I made a big stink about that because I'm like Tito Mercado is prospect of the year. The fact that he's not being labeled prospect of the year is just an unjust. And my community believes it's Abdullah Mason, and he won an award on our community. He was just had the most votes. But I'm like, bro, this guy's had 7 straight 6 rounders.
Yeah.
Like, there's
He-
not a comparison to Tito Mercado.
No, no, Tito. Like I said before, man, Tito's a hell of a talent, man. His
Bro.
father's doing a job. I would have voted for him for prospect of the year. But to me, the guys that he's fighting, he's more on
On
a
the
contender.
contender side.
Yeah, that's
But the
he's
sanctioning bodies are
Brad,
criminal. They don't
so
even have him ranked in the
that's
top
our thing,
15,
right?
bro. He needs
That's
representation, man. His father's being too.
Brad.
Ah.
you this sport has a lot of words for people, and I think depending who you are, you view things certain way. Pound for pound is one of those things. Contender and prospect is one of those things. So the way I view it, and I think our kind of standard on this show is, if you are ranked by a sanctioning body, you cannot be a prospect, because technically you are contending for a world title and the champ can defend against you, right? So I
yeah.
think if you're ranked, you're a contender. If you haven't been ranked, which Tito has not been ranked, you're still a prospect.
You got a point there.
Which
I'm
is
not gonna.
which is which is just and it's an unfortunate, very criminal situation of the sanctioning bodies that because Tito Mercado's not with a major, he's forced to be a prospect. He should be top
Yeah,
10. He should be
yeah, and there's
certainly top 10.
1,000% right, Nesta. There's a lot of guys, that you look at those rankings that he would beat, that are in the top 10. So
Did
it's
you
unfortunate.
sorry? Did you realize he's gonna fight with Tom Lawfer? He's got a fight on UFC Fight Pass the
Yeah,
27th.
I saw that. Yeah, yeah. The thing fell through in Miami, on that the Caribe or whatever.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on DAZN on the MVP promotions card. I don't know what happened there. And he was supposed to be on Golden Boy. Arnold Barboza turned him down.
I heard
Arnold
about that.
Arnold
Uh,
Barboza turned him down and fought the guy that he fought and beat.
yeah, but
Boxing is so unfair.
let me ask you a question. If you had Arnold Barboza, would you fight Tito Mercado?
Of course not, because now you're
No,
making me a manager.
no, but listen, it's all risk, no reward. Arnold's paid his dues, man. And Tito's going to be in that situation where, he's not going to be denied and he's going to fight for a world title. Arnold's been fighting, for years and years to get to a position where he wants to fight for a world title, man. He doesn't want to take a risky fight that means absolutely nothing. So just, it means something to the diehard fans or whatever, but we don't have a lot of them out there, so it becomes a business, really.
No, you're not lying. You're
And
not
he's like,
lying.
I'm a big fan of Tito Mercado, man. He's championship material, no question.
I hope he pans out. I hope things work out, with the direction and the routes that his dad is going. I was really excited that it was going to
Brad,
be MVP because I thought, if he performed well, Jake Paul's doing amazing. To be a
Tremendous.
24-year-old, this guy is he is, I mean, it's Turkey Al Sheik and Jake Paul for me. I ain't even going to front.
Nestor, let me tell you something, man. I went out to that last show, that he just had where he knocked the kid out in one round.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Florida that whole week. It was so professional. The way they did everything. That Jake Paul group, it was out of 10. It was a 10, man. It was phenomenal. The way they set up the thing and the way they treated everybody was great, man. And it was a great venue, also.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the right word is chivalrous, Danny. I mean, the man is taking the co-main and giving Amanda the main event. I get it, she's Puerto Rican, but he's the star. Let's be real. I mean, yeah, he's really showed his mettle in this sport for sure. You think he wins a world title though?
Oh, Jake Paul?
Yeah,
No, no. I
that's
just
what
think he's doing.
that's
I
what
think
he's
he's doing.
setting his sights on. I mean, I think it's attainable at cruiserweight. No, I mean, who do we really got at cruiserweight? There's gonna be a vacant title eventually. That I
He's
mean,
doing.
it
He's
would be
doing
with the
great.
WBC or the WBA because he has very close relationships with both. So
Yeah,
I mean,
he's doing a tremendous job. He's marketable as hell. He's selling out places, doing great ratings. They should just leave it like that. He's doing great. He's great. He's great for boxing for what he's doing, but he's not there yet. And who knows if he's ever. I I respect that he wants to be a fighter. He trains like a fighter, and he got himself in shape and stuff like that. But there's more to it than that, man. You know.
Brad, I want to ask,
Hmm.
maybe you know, maybe you don't, but we spoke on Sandor Martin. Obviously, that's the 140-pound division. Uh, I've been
Yeah.
hearing conflicting reports. I was told, and I'm under the impression that Top Rank let Josh Taylor go. Is that the case?
I didn't hear anything about that. I
well,
haven't heard anything.
since we're asking, have you heard? Is it true that Patrick Teixeira was gonna be an opponent for Xander?
Yeah, that was done for February, but Xander got hurt.
Uh,
We're gonna get that done for June.
wow.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. So what is it? Because he was a former. Because I'm like Patrick Teixeira and Jihad Tucker is the same level of danger. I mean, is it
Yeah.
because this guy's a world champion that they're taking? I mean, because they're
Yeah.
like ignoring Jihad Tucker. Why are they? Is it that they're not ignoring and that fight is not being offered to Xander?
It's put it like it's. I don't want to compare Xander to Arnold or anything like that, but it's like there's a reason why Arnold doesn't want to fight uh, Tito, just like Xander, you know, doesn't want to fight a guy like Jahai.
So they're looking for bigger names. It's bigger
That's what they're
names.
looking for this year. He wants to fight the Teixeiras, the Austin Trouts, you know, the former world champions. He even wants to fight top 10 contenders and guys like that. Let's see
Whoa!
how he does
Wait!
these former
Wait!
world
Wait! Wait! Wait!
champions.
Wait! You really think he could beat Trout?
Absolutely. Trout is a guy that's seen better days, man. He got no legs. And if you have no legs with Xander,
I don't even know that Trout's been stopped, Brad. What are you talking about? Like, what
who's
fight has he
who, who
showed no legs? Like, let me
who's it,
not.
who's
Don't
he been fighting?
do
Who's
more
he been
research.
fighting
He's been fighting
before
bare
you?
knuckle. He's been fighting bare knuckle, and he's been training. Remember, he's trained by Bobby Benton. Do more research. He's not just like retired.
Bobby, I know who trains him. Bobby Benton's a great friend of mine.
I don't know. I just don't think
That's,
he's
that's
laying
how we got.
around.
That's
He
how we
won the
got. That's
bare
how we
knuckle
got.
fight too.
Huh?
He won his bare knuckle fight too.
I don't. I don't.
I
I don't.
mean,
I don't.
And Jared Hurd stopped him.
Stopped
I
who?
don't. I don't.
Trout.
Yeah, TKO probably. You kidding me? Can't stop Trout. That was a ref stoppage.
So if he doesn't
He ain't
stop
come out the
him,
corner.
he beats the shit out of him for 10 rounds.
Yeah, I gotta see it. I mean, how old is Trout, Danny? Since you
Let's
got
see.
it pulled up.
Probably about 40.
No way. Not yet.
somewhere anywhere 38,
38,
39.
38.
38. Shout out to Wilder with the 38. Fucking killed us with Joseph Parker, man. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely seen better days. You ain't wrong about that, Brad.
I
I watch his fights. I don't watch the kick. What is that shit?
bare knuckle, bare knuckle.
The bare knuckle. I don't. That's jerk off shit, man. You know.
Shout out
I
to
look at his.
Treese in Toledo.
I like watching fights. I've been following up the last 3 fights where he's been fighting in Dubai and stuff like that. I
Mm-hmm.
look at all that. You know.
So you saying he didn't look good in those?
No, not at
Damn.
all. And not saying that Xander looked good in certain fights either, because he didn't. But, younger, fresher. I'm going with that guy, the
For
younger,
sure.
fresher guy. Let's
For
talk
sure.
about Jahido, man,
What's
because
up with him?
I got so much respect for that kid. If you look at our stable, Jahai and Tiger Johnson have fought such tough opposition. They deserve a lot of credit, man. They
I
really
mean, I've
do.
been saying that about Tucker. I don't, it's like you guys want to cut him. He's in the worst
No,
fights. He's
no,
at.
no, no.
It's like you keep asking for Xander. We're gonna put you in an even tougher fight.
No, 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 no. He's right now. He has a bad hand. Hopefully, he can get that fixed. I've been talking with his dad. After that, we got a good game plan. This kid can be something real special, man. I saw it the other night when he fought Verone. Verone was a real solid guy, more of like a middleweight. The father even reminded me the other day that he was rated number 5 in the BA at middleweight. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
the high hung in there, man. He's going to be okay, man. He's going to be groomed real good, man.
He's been in tough, bro.
He
He's
really
been in
has, man. So,
tough.
so is Tiger, man. Tiger's been Did you see Tiger's last fight? That was a
Um,
real
Let me
solid
double
fight.
check. Let me double check.
Jim Espinal. It was on the Robeisy fight when Robeisy lost on that
No.
show.
Didn't see that. Didn't see that
Solid.
because there was another card on that we were focused on,
That
and
was
then
the
we had to.
Haney.
Yeah, that was Haney's day, and then we had to go back for the Espinoza fight, which was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
So,
amazing.
yeah. So both of these kids, man, are gonna slow down a little bit, and fight a little bit lesser opposition.
Mm. Yeah. So is Tucker from Albany or from Brooklyn?
Originally, the dad said they were from like Queens or whatever.
Okay,
You
Queens.
know? Yeah, that's where I'm from.
So
You a Mets guy?
Huh?
Are you a Mets fan?
Actually, I am, believe it or not. But that's the only New York team I like, man. I'm a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, man, from day one, man.
Oh,
mm,
you guys just had a tough loss.
No,
What you think? You think they let Mike Tomlin go after? I mean, he has the most
I'm
winning.
not
What
a
is it?
Tomlin
17,
guy.
17 straight
Yeah,
years.
I'm not a Tomlin guy, man. I think he makes
Mm.
stupid, um, calls, and things like that. I've never been a Tomlin guy. I think we should make a change.
Damn, not even when you guys were in your heyday.
Heyday, man, was Chuck Noll and Bill Cowler, man.
Well,
That
I'm
was a
talking
hate.
heyday in my lifetime. I mean, you guys like back in '06, like mid 2000s.
Oh, 06, man, shit. I'm talking about the 70s, man, and the early
Yeah,
80s.
yeah, you talking like years, like decades before I was born, Bragg. I'm
Well,
just
yeah,
saying, like
they haven't done,
Mike had some winning days in my time, you know.
yeah, he won one Super Bowl in 17 years. Time to make a change, man.
I'm a Bears fan, Brad, so one is better than what the fuck I've seen.
Hey,
Trust me.
my favorite player, man, was Walter Payton. Sweetness, man. That was my favorite.
Sweetness.
He was my favorite.
Uh,
Well, Brad, that is all the questions, man.
Ah,
I know,
come
I
on.
know. It's only because I gotta go to Pro
I got
Box.
I got a last one for him. I got a last one for Brad. I know that you might not make these decisions. You make fights happen, but could you see Top Rank potentially working with other women in the sport?
Absolutely. We're all for it, you know. I mean, we have Michaela, we have Sinicia Estrada, and we're constantly getting calls, with other women and stuff. I always wanted, Amanda Serrano at one point.
Mm.
She would be great in the garden, when we would be doing those shows and Puerto Rican weekend and stuff like that. Not
Why?
saying that
Why did that
it's still
never work?
not sure.
Damn.
That's more for the guys upstairs, but they not saying that it can't happen because we have a decent relationship with MVP and stuff.
Well, definitely. I know you don't do the social media thing like that, so we look forward to getting you back on, Brad. Man, thanks for coming on.
When do I come back,
Appreciate
man?
you.
I want
I would say
to talk
next
about
week, man. Let's
talk
do it next week.
all right, I want to talk about Shoo Shoo and Troy Isley and all them guys, man.
Yeah, Troy is back. I was watching Bernie's
He's
stream. He
back
was
in
talking.
March, right?
Yeah,
March March 2nd in Verona.
on the Keyshawn car, right? Undercard
Nah,
of
keep
No,
Pedraza.
bro. You keep saying Keyshawn.
nah,
No,
nah. March 2nd is with Brian
March.
Norman, and
Oh,
then all those featherweights. Venado Lopez against Abi and
Raymond Ford.
Ray Ford against Klamatov. You know,
so Klamatov is your guy.
yeah, it's a good
Mm.
fighter.
Yeah, no, I know. Ford is the underdog, I think, in that fight.
Yeah,
And Ford had a little suspect fight in his career.
yeah, yeah, against Edward Vasquez.
Yeah. So people, we had like two callers call in and talk about your guy. I've never seen him fight.
Oh no, he's solid, man.
What
He's
card
real,
was
real.
he on? Is there a card that he's on ESPN Plus that we could go back and
No,
watch?
he fought on one time on the Bally's, that station over there at Hotel
Okay.
Caribe,
Yeah.
and then
Bally
last
Sports.
yeah, and then his last fight he fought over there in England. It was shown in Europe or whatever when he knocked out the guy Thomas Ward.
Patrick Ward. Yes.
Uh, Yep.
All right. Well,
Well, Brad, we appreciate you.
yes, sir.
Definitely, we'll get you back.
Hey, you
Hopefully, in a week or two.
absolutely, I
Nah, next
appreciate.
week. Next week.
Please,
Same
next
same
week.
time. All right.
You got it. All
Appreciate
right,
you.
Brad. Thank
There you
you.
have it, ladies and gentlemen. Top ranked matchmaker Brad Goodman.
YouTube family, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1,000,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 1,000,000. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.